Sci-Fi Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
If you have noticed that Jeff's beatboxing is particularly on beat this week, he's here in the studio.
Yeah, that's about all it is.
And you know what? We take what we can get.
Yeah.
And Colleen is zooming in for once. Which is
Yay!
kind of
I'm a zoomer.
crazy. You're a zoomer. Hey, it's another Thursday night. That means Docking Bay 94, either over on sci-fi.radio, or you could be watching us on Facebook or on Twitch or on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can search for DB94, find all of those things. We encourage you, as always, to like them or otherwise somehow acknowledge the fact that you were there.
Yeah.
Because we like to know that you guys were tuned in and hanging out. Reminds me that I need to fire up the chat.
Got Don and Talon already.
Woohoo! Where is my
So-
chat? I don't know.
Nobody on Facebook, nobody on YouTube yet. But
It takes a little while.
that's Twitch.
All right, there we go. Firing up the chat. I found it. We're all good. Yeah, so Colleen's visiting family in Arizona.
Yes, Tempe, Arizona. Here I am.
Arizona.
I wonder if we have any listeners who are in Tempe, Arizona too.
Oh, I don't know.
I know we have some that are in Arizona, but I'm just not sure about the location.
Write that down. Let me go see who is tuned in right now. We have United States, Canada, Russia, Germany, Estonia, and Australia. Looking through the U.S. listeners. Nope, nobody in Arizona right now. La Mesa. There's a bunch of people in La Mesa who are listening. Redwood City. Redwood City, isn't that where they shot the Ewok stuff for Endor? Redwood City?
Sort of.
Maybe
yeah,
they're
yeah.
Ewoks
Yeah.
watching.
Maybe.
Like a private property kind of situation.
Yeah, but it was up in Redwood City.
Yeah. But it probably was.
Northridge, Abascon, New Jersey. I'm sure I murdered that.
Probably, yeah.
Dallas, Texas, L.A., California, baby.
And I see Laura and Chris also. Yay!
Don, yes, I did cut my hair. I actually took a pair of my sewing scissors and went into the bathroom and just like chopped off some of my
no.
hair.
She does this once in a while.
It's very short.
I'm just glad that she really did it, because I was looking at her hair. I'm like, you did something different with your hair. And Colleen's like, you were in the bathroom when I cut it all off. I'm like,
Oh no!
I wasn't
even
paying
notice.
attention.
It's one of those, the female heroine moments where she, starts
Thanks,
hacking
Don.
all off, Hey, Alan, and Kelly.
Alan. So we did our big old giant Star Wars event this weekend with Alan over at the Upland
Yeah.
Public Library. Usually we do it at the Rancho Cucamonga Public Library, but Alan has changed bases. He got a transfer over to the other library, which I think is suiting him pretty well.
Yeah.
But they were very welcoming, and it was a test run of the big event we usually do, which means it was much smaller than anyone expected it to be.
Yeah.
I think we had about 50 costume people who came in, and
we had a lot of folks. Yeah.
yeah, and it was very different.
And toasty.
Yeah, it was warm. It was very, very warm.
So I was boiling at that time.
Actually, what was really funny is that I had gone out and met with them, and we've talked off and on about where we were going to put stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
And we got onto the site, and nothing was where I expected it to be. It was like all out in the parking lot and all sorts of stuff. It was kind of crazy. And but yeah, we had a good time. Saw some people. Chris Marble, who usually tunes into the show on Thursday nights before he runs off to Losfus and the Losfus meeting, he was there, which was cool to see a nice familiar face.
Nice.
And
man.
yeah, but boy, was it hot.
Yeah.
We were puddles by
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Hi, Lori. Yeah, I got there. I think I got there right after Alphonse and
Sean?
and other Sean.
Right, other Sean.
You know, so I was like, how the heck, you know? But it was it was fun. I mean, it was just mainly just hanging out and taking pictures. I mean, I had my car parked, and then I just stayed in the shade area because, boy, other than that, it was terrible. And took pictures and all that fun stuff.
Oh,
People.
holy cow, that's cool. So when we put these events together over at Rancho Cucamonga, it was Alan and it was Adam over on the library side of things, and it was me as
Nice.
the civilian side of things, helping organize and come up with program schedules. It sounds like Adam is moving over to the Upland Library too.
Cool.
That's terrific. The gang's
Nice.
together, baby.
Yay.
Yeah, it'll be good. So
Nice.
this was a good test. I feel it was a little underattended from what people were expecting, which you completely expect on a first thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so from a promotional standpoint, I think we can do a better job next
Oh,
year.
totally.
But
Yeah.
I think also that I hope it also lights a fire under like the city council and the park and rec district and the library itself.
Yeah.
In the case that you go, gosh, we put a lot of effort into this event and not enough people came. And that usually lights a fire under people.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, man, we got to get more people here next time. Let's work harder at that.
Oh, and totally.
So hopefully that's how we left it.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Craig Miller was a guest. He did a half-hour presentation in what used to be the Carnegie Library. It's now the Carnegie Building.
Yeah.
So he did his Star Wars Memories presentation and had his book for sale. We had
I missed him.
Kevin Thompson, who was there, and he was, of course, an Ewok, not only in Return of the Jedi, but also in the 2 Star Wars television movies.
Yeah.
And his lovely wife came out, and they're just a blast. They are the best people. And so Kevin and I, along with one of our Princess Leia's, did Leia and the 3 Ewoks, which is a shameless ripoff of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears.
Yeah.
Where Kevin plays all of the Ewoks.
Oh,
He's
okay.
dad and mom and baby. And Baby Bear is like a surfer for some reason. We're still not sure why, but it's really funny. So he's like, dude, someone's been sitting in my chair, which is like really funny. And so we had a good time doing that. We sang Mr. Lucas Has a Ranch, but we didn't have enough kids who wanted to participate, so one kid did all the sound effects.
Oh, no.
Which was cool.
Oh.
He was my hero. And then he came back for the costume contest, and he won a prize, so I was glad for that. The costume contest was small enough that everyone won prizes. We had one adult entry who was a friend of mine, and he took home all this cool stuff. He got a copy of Craig's book. He got a copy of Kevin's book.
Nice.
He
Wow.
got a copy of the Return of the Jedi version of From a Certain Point of View. I don't even have that one yet.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
It's
wow.
like, and then he got like a Grogu toy, and he took home a whole bunch of stuff, which
That's cool.
it was pretty great. It was pretty great. He's I don't think he's a 501st Rebel Legion member, but he came in a costume and he hung out, and he's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
He also has a 350Z, and I keep offering him my old 350Z parts, and he won't take them. Take them, damn you! Take them.
Ooh.
Get them out of the
Did we
backyard.
say hi to John Bryson?
I don't know.
We did not.
Hi,
This
John
is
Bryson.
John
Welcome to
Bryson
the show.
was looking pretty spiffy in a new pink kilt,
Okay, then.
Yeah.
which was great. His kilt pattern actually
see, I'm
reminded me of
curious.
that swimsuit that you have, Colleen. Except it's blue. You have a blue plaid thing, but that
Right.
pattern usually comes
It's
in
like-
pink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gotcha.
I almost never see the blue. The blue's like a very rare thing, but it's a particular pattern. That's what
Wow.
John's
And
kilt
on the
reminded me of.
Twitch side, Mela is tuned in.
Yeah.
Hey to Mela.
Yay.
Hey to Mella.
Yeah.
Hey to Goober.
Oh,
So-
my goodness.
So, that was the start. Wait, Jeff has a new puppy?
Yes, I do.
Yes. and
that?
puppy means very large dog in
Yes.
this case.
Yeah.
I got to meet the puppy.
So you've already seen Ahsoka. She's 6 months old. Okay.
Right?
This one is only 3 months old.
Uh-huh.
And he's bigger than all of our dogs. So
How did this happen? How did you guys just like
well,
randomly decided on a new dog or what?
I mean, it was a matter of the fact that we were having issues with Ahsoka and Winnie, and not to lesser extent Lupin. Really, not much of any trouble with him at all. But Ahsoka and Winifred fighting all the time, whatever and such. And so, the best option we were figuring out was literally to get a large boy, because Winnie and Ahsoka are female, and they just fight because and so we got this big boy, and
so he's gonna like.
it just sort of mellows it all out. I don't know the best way to put it. Is it like
I don't know much about dogs, so
yeah. This is like Owen was telling, and we had discussed it with Owen too, and he does dog behavior and such. But yeah, what's this doing? Best way to put it is it like so I'll put two pictures are in our Facebook chat, Sean.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Great.
But yeah, and we've had him for about, oh gosh, I guess we'll have had him for a week and like a couple days.
He's a Great Dane, right?
Yeah. He is a Great Dane. He's a big black Great Dane.
Yeah, he's really huge.
wow.
Yeah, and it's we'll hear him walking because we have all those wood floors. So you hear him walking in the hallway. It sounds like a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. He is just a big.
He's very, very friendly.
Yeah, he's a big old goober, and he lovey dog and stuff. He's all happy. Then we finally nailed his name down. So he has a first name and a middle name. And
Sleepy dog.
So and the first name is not originally a Star Wars character. So I know the name is now, but it's the choice wasn't because it was Star Wars. It was because of
What did you guys settle on?
So his first name is Poe.
Okay.
Edgar Allan Poe, not Poe Dameron, but
And not Kung Fu Panda.
yeah. And his middle name is Egon.
Is Egon?
Yep.
Okay.
Poe Egon.
Yep.
Cool.
Donoho.
Or whatever
Nice. Well,
combination we're using. Of
what a
last name.
cutie.
Ballardaho or whatever. I don't know.
Now he's
Whatever
he's
combo.
Donopo.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It was just really bizarre. Yeah. So.
Well, Sean, do you want to talk about any of the other things you did this weekend? This week, you
I did a
lot of stuff.
I did a lot. Yeah. So so I went out and I met with a friend of mine, Shamim, who is the subject of a documentary called The Autograph King. So he has decided that I think he started with a poster from a book called Comic Book the Movie, which has a ridiculous number of celebrity cameos in it. And so he was going to be at the autograph show doing stuff. He's been trying to get me to talk on camera for a while for it. And so he's like, well, you got to come to my dinner. And so I'm like, okay. And he was pretty insistent. Like, I was driving there, and he's like, you're coming, right? I'm like, I am in my car right now, on my way there. And so I get there, and I've had no information about it. I thought it was like the last dinner we had there where we went to Daily Grill, and it was like a handful of us, and there was a friend of his who was named Bryce Eller. And Bryce used to work for Don Post Masks, and he got tapped to be Darth Vader for all the promotional stuff during the 70s. So when Darth Vader put his feet in the cement at the Chinese theater, that was Bryce.
Oh.
And so he was there, and so there were some 501st people and like Darth Vader fans and whatever, and I just went to have dinner, being social. So I thought it was going to be like that. And I get there, and I walk in, and they're in the back room. And this is at the Burbank Marriott, Jeff, where we did Legends Con.
Oh, okay, wow.
So it's that same
Jeez,
hotel.
over there.
So it was
Okay.
it was a trek out there. It took me like an hour and a half to get there. After dropping Colleen off at the airport, I went home and I got my stuff together, and then I headed out.
Yeah.
And so it turned out to be the wrap party for this documentary that they were making. And the guys behind the documentary, I used to work with one of them at the pinup website that I used to work at, Danny's Hard Drive. He was like the main producer there. And so he was producing this documentary. And he also did Comic Book the Movie, which was a movie he was doing while I was there.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for including me, Eric. But anyway, it was really cool to see him. And then I spent the night, and this is the worst. I am the worst, like, celebrity recognizer, name dropper kind of guy, because I spent the night talking to all of these people that I totally recognized, could not tell you what they were in. and the guy next to me especially was like super cool, and we did all the stuff you're not supposed to do. We talked religion, we talked politics, we talked, and we had the best conversation. His kids were across the table. They're teenagers. They're like juniors in high school. I told him what Colleen did, and she's like their hero now. She's like, oh my God, you worked on EA games, and you do motion capture, you do all this stuff. And that was really great. The girl I was sitting next to, Summer, I had done a podcast with her, and she didn't remember meeting me, so that's fair enough. But she's a musician and a singer, and she does cover versions of like Weird Al songs.
Nice.
Which is pretty funny. But she's actually pretty talented. And she recently
like an onion.
opened for Sean Colvin, who had come out here to do a thing. And so that was pretty cool. So lots of interesting people. And I cannot tell you who these people were, even though I've seen them in a million things, because I just can't remember their names and stuff. Which is really terrible. And so, but there were some Disney people there that I did recognize, like Terry Hardin was there, and she was a Imagineer, and some people like that.
Gotcha.
And so it was a nice night. But the problem is, and I'll revisit this a little bit later with one of the other things I did this week. You get me there, and I stayed too late. Because I talked to everybody, and so like I was just about the last one out from this event because I was talking to the producer of the movie, Scott.
Gotcha.
That was it was a lot of fun. It was really great, but it was a long day, and I had just taken Colleen to the airport, which makes me sad. So we did that. Jeff and I went to the Orange County Car Show.
Yeah.
I got a survey from them today. They're like, would you please fill out this survey for 3 minutes? And I'm like,
dear.
oh yes, please let me at that survey, because
oh no,
I feel I speak for Jeff when I say we were entirely underwhelmed.
Yeah.
By the car show.
That was it was literally like walking through a building that was just a car lot.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing special about these cars,
and
except they would be like the 24 models, I guess.
Yeah, which weren't inspiring. But
No.
and to differentiate, so I say car show, what it really was the auto show. And so like if you go to the Los Angeles Auto Show, there's electric vehicles and concept cars and third-party add-ons for your car, and startup companies that are just trying to get off the ground for their,
totally.
alternate fuel stuff, and like all this really exciting stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then in this case, basically all of the people who showed up were like, it was Ford and Chevy and Dodge and the one Fiat that was there, and Hyundai was there, and VW was there. And they had just the kind of stuff that you find on the lot. And a lot of companies didn't come.
Yeah.
So according to this survey, they invited everybody.
Yeah.
But Tesla didn't show, Subaru didn't show, Genesis didn't show, Infiniti didn't show. There were a whole long list of car manufacturers that didn't feel like they wanted to show anything there. And at the Anaheim Convention Center, which is where they do the big Star Wars conventions, they do Anime Expo, they do a bunch of things like that, they had their test tracks inside the convention center because they had so much space, and they were only using like room E and D or something, like at the tail end, the south end of the convention center. And so there was this they made a bunch of fake hills and stuff for the Jeeps to drive over.
Yep.
They had an EV speed course that
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
you
It's
could
like in the dark, or whatever.
do ride-alongs and stuff in the EV cars. It was weird. It was really, really weird. And the one thing that we saw that was like interesting
Oh yeah,
was a Nissan that they had wrapped to look like a Woody,
yeah.
but it was just like a crossover SUV. And, you know, it was cute and all,
Yeah.
but it wasn't very inspiring. I mean, we were
Yeah.
more impressed with the fact that they put like steel wheels with a nice blue and gave it a 1950s vibe.
Yeah, it had like white walls.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you know, some guys were standing next to you going, "Dude, this wood looks so real," and you're like, "No, dude, it's printed on vinyl. It doesn't look real in any way, shape, or form. You might have had a few too many drinks."
Isn't pot supposed to kind of fix your eyes a little bit? I mean,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was terrible, and
I don't know.
it was disappointing because
It's just pain.
we wanted to see some cool stuff, and it started well. We got into the convention center, and at least we got a 2-for-1 deal. I paid $15. We got 2 tickets.
Yeah.
But we also felt dumb for spending money to get in there because we could have gone to the auto mall
Totally.
and seen all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you walked in, and there were like 2 McLarens and 2 Lamborghinis,
Yeah.
and I don't know, some Ferrari SUVs or something. I'm not sure what those were over there, but because they were just SUVs and they were very uninspiring.
Nothing spectacular. No.
And you're like, yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. And then you walk in, and it's like, oh, okay. It's just, you know, any of these cars you're likely to see at any dealership and or the Target parking lot.
And they have like people walking around as if they're like salespeople, but they can't sell you a car.
Yeah.
You know, they just like.
You
Then
couldn't
you could
take
ask her
pre-orders
questions
for
and-
stuff. And,
Yeah,
and
nothing.
even, we talked to the guy with the 350s, I'm sorry, just the Z.
The
They're-
Z,
they
yes.
they went from 350 to 370, and instead of going to 400, it's just the Z
Yeah.
now, apparently. And so we're talking to that guy, and he didn't even really seem to know much about the car.
Yeah. Well, none of them really did. I remember that we passed some lady that was at one of the other sections, and I can't remember where it was. It was probably Ford, but or something like that. But
Yeah.
Mazda, whatever section we were in, and she like they're asking her questions and she didn't have any answers.
It was
Like,
it was super
no.
disappointing.
Yeah.
I really just expected more from those guys. And
But you know,
now that said, Jeff and I had a fun time walking around making fun of the cars.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was only like an hour and a half worth of entertainment.
Yeah,
We parked over in the Toy Story lot. We walked to the convention center. We saw the thing, and then we were back at the car within an hour and a half.
yeah, there really wasn't much to it.
No.
That's
That's-
crazy.
And then we went thrift shopping instead.
This explains why the it used to be free.
It should have been free. And I
So-
told them in the thing. So they kept asking me loaded questions like, you know, what are some of your favorite things about the show? And I'm like, honestly, it was underwhelming. We saw cars we could have seen at the dealership, and
Yeah.
I feel stupid for having paid money to come in.
Yeah, it was brief.
Yeah. And so, well, and they said, how many hours did you spend there? And I'm like, there wasn't a half-hour thing, so I was generous and said 2.
Yeah,
But elsewhere in the comments, I said we only spent like an hour and a half there.
yeah.
And then, so for my time, for filling out the survey, they've given me a free ticket for next year.
Oh joy!
Ooh.
Oh no.
Well,
Right.
Oh,
You'll waste your
no.
gas on that, I'm sure.
Right.
Well, we went to BB's, so that was nice.
Yeah, we went to Mimi's for lunch, which was cool. And I'll tell you, the other thing I meant to mention about the car show
Huh?
is that they're like, oh, this is such a great show. It's a family show, and everybody can come, and it's really
Oh,
cool, and
geez,
bring
yeah.
the kids. But there wasn't anything for the kids to do
No.
or look at. So what they were doing was tearing up the show cars.
Pretty much.
And so, like, I went up to look at one car to see what the dashboard configuration and stuff was. Completely full of kids. No
Yeah.
adults in sight.
Yep.
Kids not old enough to drive because they're all like 8 or 7 or 5.
Yeah.
Climbing up and over the seats, playing with the headrest, pulling on everything. One of the cars I got into was missing the shifter. Someone had stolen the shifter out of the car.
Yeah.
They just unthreaded it and walked off with it. it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So
Very disappointing. So I expect LA's show to be pretty darn amazing in person. Again,
well, we spent
'cause,
like
man.
4 hours at the LA show.
Yeah,
when
and
we went. At
I
least
think we were there till it closed because
Yeah.
it could have kept going.
We parked the car over kind of by our house. If you take the car up to like Exposition Boulevard, you can do a park and ride. You park,
Yeah.
you get on the train, you take it into downtown, and then you don't have to pay $30 for parking, and you don't have to fight the cars.
Yeah, it's
to
over by
get
it's
in.
over by that C's.
Yeah, by C's Candy,
Yeah.
and there's a Target over there. It's by where Mark and Brian's station used to be.
Okay.
That's where Mark and Brian KLOS was over there.
Oh, okay.
And so last time we took the train, we got in, we had a fun time on the train. We
Yeah.
walked all around the convention center. They kicked us out because we stayed too late.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun making fun of all the cars.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there was a lot to make fun of. But also, looking to see, they took this design element from this manufacturer, they copied this from someone else.
Yeah,
this
they-
is something
yeah.
we've never seen before.
Here's Ford's Juke,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, but
And I was really excited at this show to show you, Jeff, some
Yeah.
of the interesting innovation-y kind of stuff that Genesis was doing. That's like really cool, and they weren't
Yeah.
even there,
yeah.
so it was dumb. Yeah, we'll go to the LA one. We'll have more fun.
Yeah.
But it was a weird experience.
It was weird.
That was a
It
bust,
surely was.
but
Yeah, there's Chris. Yeah, we talked about Chris being at the Upland Library event. It was good to see him sitting in the front row, where we promptly made fun of each other. Let's
Very
see.
silly.
What else?
You may have gone to an estate sale.
I did not go to the estate sale.
Oh.
I had thought about doing it. I didn't do it. We did. Tried to record stuff for the neighbor. That completely failed. I felt bad too because he gave me like some C's candy or something for my trouble. We were trying to record the neighbor's opera singer daughter.
oh yeah.
And then it worked during our test, and then it didn't work when we went to do it. There was some delay between the video and the audio, and it's like my computer just decided it was too old. And the thing that was really dumb is that we set it all up, we had it all working, I left it all over there. All I had to do was turn it back on and reactivate it. Nope, wouldn't work. So
That sucks.
it was really stupid. So that was a drag, but I'll tell you, Isabella, our opera singing neighbor kid, who's like 17, will blow your ears out if you're in a room with her. She is so
Well,
powerful.
I mean, It's loud in our house, so
Yeah,
I would imagine that standing next to
Yeah.
her must be.
It's insane.
an issue.
It's absolutely insane. Like with headphones on and stuff, she's still too loud.
Wow.
Which was crazy. So anyway, she's applying to colleges and stuff. So we were shooting that. But it turned out that the iPad that they were shooting with was just as good. So they're doing that, and I have loaned them a music stand so they can prop up the iPad.
Oh.
There you go.
So that's the extent of my contribution.
Fancy.
And then, but this downtown LA panel that I did was a thing called Collab, which is it's a collaborative laboratory. It's in a photo studio or video studio. You can shoot little projects in there. It's in the warehouse district of downtown LA, and they have these panels of makers and speakers and things like that. So they had a guy who has been taking photographs for 50 years, and they made a VR studio that you can walk through an exhibit of all of his photographs with a VR headset. That was really cool. There was a guy who was a graffiti artist, and he's been a graffiti artist for 50 years.
Oh.
And he teaches kids how to do graffiti instead of just tagging, which is funny. So it's like little kind of subversive. It's like, well, if you're going to tag something, how about you do art?
Yeah.
And don't tag other people's art.
Billy.
Which was really funny. And so he was there. And then I was part of a panel that was all about costuming. And so we had the head costumer of Labyrinth of Jareth, which is apparently it's internationally ranked as like the third biggest ballroom event in the world or something.
Really?
It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Biggest?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's a popularity thing or whatever it is, but it's
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
apparently like number 3 on this big list.
Okay.
And so we've attended it. I used to work it.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of fun to talk to her. And then the guy next to me on my right was he used to be a prop guy professionally, and now he works with EVA foam, and he makes cool props, and he brought a bunch of stuff, really nice stuff, space helmets and things like that were made out of foam, and you couldn't even tell. He's a really talented guy. There was me, of course, talking about my prop experience, cosplay experience, and how I utilize it for charity. The guy to my left runs Thunderdome at Burning Man, and it's really Thunderdome. They build a Thunderdome. 2 guys are on, they swing and they fight, and people hang on the outside and watch the fights, and it is legitimately Thunderdome from the Mad Max movie. And of course everybody dresses accordingly, so he brought his gear. And then the woman on the far left of the panel, she was or is an international go-go dancing star.
That's wacky.
Right, and she's I can't remember her name, but she basically, they fly her around, and she goes to these parties like you have big DJ parties, and then she's a draw as a dancer at these DJ parties, and she makes lots of techno costumes that light up and do whatever. It was really fun. Anyway, I got invited there by Christy, who is our contact who runs Yuri's Night.
Oh, okay.
And so it was fun to be there and get to socialize, because when we do Yuri's Night, I never get to socialize.
No.
And like I feel really dumb. Like Colleen and I was talking to somebody about Colleen and I going to Club 33, and the guy I was talking to was like, "Oh, well, when I came to work Yuri's Night with you, I talked to the head of SpaceX, and she invited me to Club 33 next time she goes, because we talked about science at Yuri's Night." And I'm like, I never get to do crap like that. And and talk to all of these people and see the panels and do whatever. So this time,
Okay.
I got to socialize. And what was really cool is that I met with one of the prop guys who worked on Ashoka and Obi-Wan and all these Disney Plus Star Wars shows. And so he was great, because he'd flip to something on his phone and go, "I made this," and I'm like, "Oh, I know where that was. That was in this ship, and that was whatever. It was whatever." And then he is in the building that used to be Colleen's old office, down on Lairport, and so in El Segundo they used to be the costuming department, and the costuming department got moved over by the post office, along with more prop stuff. But he's in this other building that used to be Colleen's office, basically.
Oh, okay.
Which is really kind of, so it was a weird night. It was really fun. Hopefully some good things come out of it. And I made some new friends, which was terrific. And like the other event I did on Friday, I got home at 3:30 in the morning, because I stood on the sidewalk talking to everybody, having a cool time. Which is,
It's terrible.
Nice.
yeah. Well, and then I had to get up in a couple hours and do my morning show, and it was like, so.
I've been having the opposite. I've been going to bed at like 8 p.m. because
Well,
I'm in
everybody in your
the-
house has been going to bed early. Plus, are you
Right.
subject to the time zone change over there? Is there a time zone change?
there's no time zone change.
So it's 7:30 for you right now.
It's 7:30. Yeah.
Okay.
So right now we're on the same time as California, here, California and Arizona. But Arizona doesn't do a time change.
Oh.
Right,
So-
but one part of the year they're off, and one part of the year
Yeah.
they're not.
Well, we're not in that part of the year right now. It's the same time.
Right.
I in addition to, I flew over here to hang out with my mom, work for a week from out here. And so I'm staying with my mom and my aunt and seeing lots of my aunts and cousins and people like that. And I went and saw 2 movies,
Oh,
which
okay.
is
Wow.
insane. There's a movie theater that is 5 minutes away from my aunt's house that serves food. So on 2 of the days that I've been here, we ran over and had lunch at the movie theater.
Oh.
And so I saw a movie with my cousin Scott called Dumb Money, which was about the GameStop
Oh yeah, the
short sales thing. Man, that's something we should have talked about more on our show,
What's that?
because Dumb Money, the whole, so a brief overview. Man, of that's something we should have. Movie is about is that in 2021, I believe, a bunch of Wall Street investors decided that they were going to short sell, I believe the term is, GameStop
Right.
stock. And by doing that, they would be putting GameStop out of business. And someone who was a hobby investor and a geek said, what the hell? That's not fair. I believe that this stock is going to make it through. And he started encouraging he did a podcast, and he started encouraging all of his listeners to invest in the stock. And he always shared his stock portfolio and everything. And basically, the little guys won over all of the Wall Street billionaires. So, yeah, don't mess with Reddit.
Well, anything like that, anonymous or any of those groups, Discord to some extent. I mean, once you band together, you can accomplish a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, and I liked the movie more than I thought I would.
That's good.
Yeah, so I recommend it. I think people should go and see it. And then yesterday, I went to go see The Creator with my aunt, Eileen. And that is...
okay.
I enjoyed the movie. It is very confusing for about the first half of the movie. And what it's about is, in the nearish future, like in the next 40 years, I think, AI robots come to help us with all our needs, and we turn the AI robots into the police force.
Yeah.
And there are AI robots, and then there are AI that look human, but they have these holes in their necks that you can see right through, and their computers operate them through that hole in the back of their neck.
Huh.
And there's a war going on because we are led to believe at the beginning that the AI decided they didn't want to be slaves to human beings anymore. And so they detonated a nuclear bomb in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Lucky
And
us.
ever since then, there had been a war going on. And they send someone in to go find the super bomb that's been created. And it turns out that the super bomb is, and they show this, I remember the trailer. I believe they show this in the trailer.
Yeah.
That the super bomb is an AI child.
Yeah.
Right.
And
They don't tell you that there's a bomb. They just say they have to protect the child.
well, the bomb was in the past when the movie starts. So the bomb, the nuclear bomb that went off in Los Angeles was something that happened like 5 years previous to the movie start, and was what started the whole war between AI and humans. But it was very confusing because at first you don't realize that it's not all the humans against all the AI. It is some of the humans, U.S. government, against AIs and other humans. And so that part was extremely confusing till we figured that out. And I wasn't expecting it to be as emotional as it was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. And it was well done. I really liked all the actors. Wasn't expecting Flamingo from West Wing.
Oh, that's cool.
What's her name?
I couldn't
I
say.
Janney, Allison Janney.
Allison Janney. I can't remember
I
because
wasn't
you said
expecting
flamingo,
Allison
and that's
Janney
all I
to
could
be in
think
it.
of.
Yeah. So, and Dumb Money also had a good cast, and I wasn't expecting to like some of the characters, but I did.
Cool.
Cool.
So, I recommend that everybody go and see both of those.
Okay. Cool beans.
This this collab thing I went to this week, that was the talk I did. It was a weird disconnect, and I don't know if maybe I got involved in it a little too late. Although I think one of the other guys got involved about the time I did. It was really weird. So I sent him a bio and I sent him pictures, and so instead of printing anything from my actual bio, they said he is the leader of the 501st, radio host, and
The heck?
renown cosplayer, which was weird. And then in the other thing, they actually said that I was a founder of sci-fi.radio, which was a problem. The picture came from Facebook instead of any of the nice pictures I sent them. They didn't use that at all. I had like really good pictures, and everybody else here has really good pictures.
Wow.
And in fact, here I can show you guys. It's really funny, because I found the event ad, and so there we go. So there's this thing, and then like everybody else has a has a nickname. So there's like there's Chrome Girl, Cyber Hall, Sid Nicholson. His name's not really Sid.
Yeah.
Evil Ted.
Yeah.
I'm Sean Crosby. Like not Obi-Shawn, mind you. Even though it's like on my license plate and it's really easy to find. It's the weirdest thing. It was
That
like
is weird.
it's like I look like the most boring guy in
Yeah.
the group. I'm like, huh. It was really, really bizarre, and I had a blast. And I was really glad to be part of it. It was just really strange that like I fell through the hole, and I think it's because like Christy, our contact. I don't think she did that. I think it was her partner who did it,
Yeah.
Kevin, who runs the space. It was just strange. I'm like, the bio I sent had my nickname in it, and it had all the real stuff I actually do, and you know that I did not found. Sci-fi.
Right.
Radio.
It's super
Oh, my
weird when
goodness.
people do that. and
So
it's-
bizarre, just so
Odd.
bizarre. That
Yeah.
was crazy. What
Oh
should
my
we roll off to
Let's see.
Star Wars history here?
I guess.
That's up to Jeff. Jeff,
I mean-
you ready for Star Wars history?
Yeah, I was gonna say that much like Sean did, I started as well our Halloween decorating in the front yard. Not
Right.
I think I'm about done, but I got some more to do. You know, add here and there, so because it seemed like empty spot here, light here, whatever. And I saw this movie that's on Prime called Totally Killer, and horror comedy, and it was actually really funny.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
It
yeah?
was really good.
So it was legitimately a comedy, not just horror.
Yeah, it was both. I mean, there are stabby scenes and stuff, but
Stabby
there's other
scenes.
because it's a slasher. But so you actually see some characters getting stabbed to death, but everything else that's handled that's not directly that is hysterical because with the way the people are acting and the way she's reacting, because it has to do with time travel and such too. The girl, I can't quite place her name. She was just in the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the
Sabrina?
she's the main character. Yes,
Yeah.
she's the main character in this too. So
Nice.
Cool.
that was pretty fun, really good. So it's on Prime. Go watch it.
Kiernan Shipka, is that her name?
I think so. Yeah,
Or did
yeah,
I get it backwards?
yeah. It sounds right.
No, it's Kiernan Shipka.
Yeah, yeah. She was really
Yes,
it was
it's
really
Kiernan
funny.
Shipka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I like her actually.
Oh,
I think she's really fun.
Gosh, our favorite Shield agent was in it too.
Ming Na
What was the name
or
of this?
Clark Gregg?
No, our favorite funny Shield agent.
What was the name of this movie?
Totally Killer? I can't think of his name now. We want to have a show with him and the one gal from Thor and stuff. As like
Charlie Gillespie?
no.
Lachlan Monroe? No?
I can't think of his darn name.
Our favorite funny shit.
Yeah.
Randall Park?
Yeah, there we go. Randall Park. Yes.
Oh.
There we
He
go.
was- in
I
Shield,
don't
wasn't
think
he?
of him as the funny Shield
Yeah, he was
agent at all.
He was like, was he Shield? I thought he was Shield.
No,
Or
he was
he
in
CIA or
Ant-Man.
FBI?
He was an FBI agent.
Okay.
And then he was in the next thing
WandaVision.
he was in Wanda.
WandaVision.
Yeah. And so
Still is an FBI
Oh, okay,
agent.
FBI. Okay. I'm just getting the agencies mixed up, whatever. But in any case, yeah, he was in it. He
Right.
plays like a sheriff in the 80s portion. So it takes place in both now and in the 80s.
I feel like we watched a trailer for this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a guy in a goofy looking, I don't know, God, it almost looks like not a Ken doll mask, but something kind of like that. The killer's mask. It looks really bizarre, kind of weird looking.
That's funny.
I'm not really
Wow.
sure what it's based on.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'd have to look it up.
So Jeff, are you ready to do
Yes.
Star Wars?
Sure. Bum, 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 bum. Favorite music.
You do have music.
The world. Where'd that come from?
I found a piece of music that's royalty-free music that we're not going to get dinged for.
Wow, cool.
I've been using it for a couple of weeks, but I'm not sure you can hear it when you're not here.
Yeah, it's almost Star Warsy. You know?
It is. It's very
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's got all
It's
the
like the
same
first
themes
time.
and stuff. It's just background-y stuff.
Okay. Okay, we have two birthday things here. We have October 9th, 1920. That's when Jason Wingreen was born. He's the original voice for Boba Fett.
In The Empire Strikes Back or in the cartoon?
Well, I think it's the cartoon.
Okay, because they did the cartoon in the holiday special.
Yeah. Let me see here. Well,
The original
says
and
Irving
theatrical
Kershner.
versions of The Empire Strikes Back.
yeah. So it looks like it's the film one.
Okay, cool.
So there you go. I thought it was somebody else.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I pointed out other things, but I neglected to pull up other stuff that he's been in. But Archie Bunker, apparently, and All in the Family. He was in that.
Wow.
Harry Snowden. And The Twilight Zone and Star Trek. So he has a pretty good amount of things, and thank goodness this other site that I pulled up had it. And the next one is October 8th, 1945. That is when Bill E. Martin was born.
You got to
and-
slow that down, or else people think he's the manager of the
exactly.
Yankees.
Exactly. He voiced. It's primarily what they're talking about for his Star Wars connection was he voiced a bunch of characters, Bith the Merchant, Gungan Guard, Blizzard Boy, whatever, in the Phantom Menace video game.
Well, but he did a bunch of other really great video
Yeah.
games too. Like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter
Yeah.
should be higher than the Phantom Menace
Totally.
video game.
But it's only listed. It's only giving me a couple things, and it's telling me the Phantom Menace. But I see all this like Nice Old Republic and Force Commander. Yeah, there's a ton.
Knights of the Old Republic, Bounty Hunter,
Yeah.
Rebellion. Yeah, gosh, he was a busy dude.
Yeah, and like and also cartoons as well, not just video games like Little Nemo and Slumberland, Harry and the Hendersons. TMNT.
He was a writer on Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah,
Was that like a cartoon series?
well, they
One
did have,
episode. I
there
guess it was a TV series.
There was a live action series that would. I think that might be what it is. Yeah, that's a live action series. I think.
Weird.
Unless that's the film.
No, it's. Well, actually, I think it's the film and the television series.
Oh, yeah, then it must be. Wow. See?
That's very cool.
New thing to learn every day to throw on that little thing that Gregor posts every week. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because the first one has John Lithgow and Melinda Dillon in it,
Yeah.
and Kevin Peter Hall.
And Linda Dillon. Woo!
Wait. David Suchet was in that? Poirot was in that? That's cool.
Yeah.
No idea. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah. It's been. I think I saw it when it came out. I think
Yes.
that's the last time I saw it.
I saw it when it first came out.
That was it.
and
Which
that was
movie are we talking about?
Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one
Wow.
about Bigfoot?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that in first run, and then I never watched the TV series.
Yeah. Just bizarre. Although I think Kevin Peter Hall was Harry in both the TV show. And
I
the
think so
movie.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, who are you going to find to fill that suit?
Yeah, I know. Okay, that's it for the birthday portion. Now for the actual history portion, I'll start with the one that is kind of funny.
Okay.
October 12th, 1982 is when the Jedi Master Quiz Book was published by Delroy. And was like a 10-year-old or something wrote that or
I
something?
think he was 12.
Oh, he was 12?
Yeah. He was basically a kid
Yeah.
who put together this whole thing.
Yeah.
Rusty Miller was
Yeah.
his name. And I'm trying to see like how old he was here. He says, out of boredom, more or less, I began writing trivia questions about A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, and it got so big, and I thought, hey, it could be something.
Yeah.
And my mom and I sent it to Del Rey Books, and they requested a copy, and that was it. So
Sweet.
Rusty's real name is Matt,
Okay.
and he was 11. Nice.
He's as old as me.
Woohoo!
I think. Let's see here. October 10th, 2006. That's when StarWars.com was voted favorite official movie site.
And that got him far.
Yeah, they're you know, have nothing to do with that movie, or the subsequent 7 or 8 movies later. October 9th, 2007 is when the Jedi training started at the Disney's Hollywood Studios, Florida.
Yep.
Yeah.
That Disney Jedi training that they kidnapped my script from.
Yeah. Slimy dogs.
I didn't talk to Disney at all. I talked to Lucasfilm, and they're like, "Oh, they're doing this now." And I'm like, "Are they?" Rat. That's okay. Worked out okay for me.
So Marvel Comics is doing some Life Day variant covers.
Mhm.
They're coming out in November. And Sean, oh good. He's already on it. Gonna show us those covers.
I am already
I
on
mean,
it. How could you tell
They-
I was already
gotta
on it?
wonder.
They look kind of creepy to me. Is it just me or?
The mom looks. What is up with the mom's face there? Shmi's face. The
Yeah,
cover.
so there's Han and Chewie, and they're hanging Life Day orbs, and
Yeah.
then there's both of the faces look weird.
Yeah.
Shmi looks like she's gonna poison Anakin. Maybe that's how she prevents the prequels from happening. Takes out her own kid. Happy Life Day, Anakin. It is really disturbing.
Yeah.
Anakin's
I-
not really on model either.
It feels like who did they get to draw these?
Don't
I'm gonna feel really bad because I've hurt somebody's feelings by saying this, but
Mike
yeah.
Del Mundo and Rod Rees.
Shmi looks a little demented, and so does Anakin. At least we know
A
why
little.
he went crazy and killed all the Jedi.
Yeah. It's something about
The
the milk.
women
It's probably spoiled. I
And the
don't know.
children. We slaughtered
Yeah.
them like animals.
It's kind of weird that the one with the Wookiee and the
Chewie and Han.
Chewie and Han?
no, not Chewie and Han, the one that's below that, the third one.
Oh, the third
It's
one.
got the Wookiee
sure that
and
one.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dr.
Dr.
Afra.
Dr.
I don't-
Afra.
Yeah.
What's weird about
That
it?
one
Afra.
is the less weird one. Oh no, actually, wait, there are 4 covers here, aren't there?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, there's
a-
Gormanda
there's
that
one
does
with
that.
Gormanda at the bottom.
Yeah, the one with Gormanda is the least weird looking one.
It looks legitimately like Gormanda,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Yeah,
nice.
it looks like Gormanda. Gormanda
Yeah.
looks weird.
And is it just covers, or are they telling Life Day stories inside?
I mean,
Because I don't follow any of these comics.
um,
And if it's just a variant
Called
cover,
Dr. Afra number.
40.
so the story though, let me see.
Well, but it's not. There's Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 40, and then there's Dr. Aphra number 38.
Darth Vader number 40.
This is weird.
Huh.
I don't know. It's
I'm trying to find
I mean,
like a
they're
storyline.
pre-existing series, none of which we watch. We
Yeah.
read.
I don't know if
Aw.
the stories inside of them are going to have
I don't think
any
they
of
are
this in
either. I
there.
think they're just doing Life Day covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to buy a comic in the middle of a series
Yeah.
I don't read if they're not telling a one-off Life Day story.
But I
It's
like that.
interesting. At the end of the article, it says last year Disney Parks celebrated Life Day with special merchandise and photo ops.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what it says. At the,
Yeah.
How about that,
Yeah.
huh?
Right. Amazing.
yep.
I'm clicking on photo
Surprise,
ops.
surprise.
There were
You're-
photo ops.
Yeah, apparently there's a couple of pictures here of our thing. They're talking about Disney Hollywood Studios, really,
Oh, okay.
and not much from the West Coast.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
Walt Disney World News Today or something.
That's
like
probably
that.
why.
So it's like, okay, whatever. We know the real deal. Although the Discord
Did we
people,
get a?
what'd you say,
Did
Colleen?
we get this sampler, drink sampler at Oga's Cantina?
I
for
don't think so.
Life Day?
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember.
Yeah, I think.
But
I
we
don't
didn't go into the
remember that,
cantina,
but I
so
don't-
I don't know.
Right, but also like we don't really drink alcohol that much,
Right.
so
Yeah.
The Discord Galaxy's Edge group is still insisting on doing a lightsaber meetup on Life Day. At the time, we're supposed to do the orb procession,
on.
and the Disney cast members are not happy
Yeah.
about it. They're really kind of pissed because they get to participate in Life Day and they don't get to participate in these lightsaber meetups.
No.
And the group does like 6 lightsaber meetups a year. So they're like, why are you horning in on our Life Day?
That's what they're doing.
So I'm going to have to send them a note and see if we can figure it out because, I mean, we've had plenty of Discord people come over and bring their lightsabers anyway into the group. It's never been a problem before. I don't know
yeah,
why
but
it's
like
a
half
problem
the
now.
people have lightsabers
Right.
that take photos with us.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
and they're the Discord people, so I don't know why they're insisting on having their own thing. But it's pissing
Fair.
off. Like, it's one thing for me to be mad. It's another thing for the Disney cast members to be pissed off. So I'm
Yeah.
going to have to talk to some people and go, hey, now you're upsetting Disney, and that's making trouble for me.
Yeah.
And if you're making trouble for me, you got to stop. Because if they roll back Life Day, if they tell us we can't do it there anymore, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really, really mad.
yeah,
So,
really mad. So
Gah.
don't do that. Guillermo del Toro had a Star Wars movie that was supposed to be the rise and fall of Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen the fall of Jabba the Hutt already. But I don't know. I think I would have rather have seen Guillermo del Toro's Haunted Mansion movie.
Yeah, me too.
Than the
Me
Star Wars
too.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Do,
just.
do you guys have
just not work out.
the Facebook page? The video has disappeared off the Facebook page, or
Really?
is that just me?
I can see it right
Last
now.
I saw it was there.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
Okay, I don't.
find it.
Mine's just spinning, so maybe it's that I don't have enough speed over here or something.
Yeah, you might not. Let me go pop over to it. I had to turn my
Okay.
sound off so that I could
Hey, Gregor. Hey, Eric.
check it out.
How's it going?
No, we seem to still be there.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
it
great.
does seem to be a little jerky though. I'll check my speed.
Do you want to do the top of the hour, Sean, before we review the final episode of Ahsoka?
Yeah, I surely can. You could be listening to us over on sci-fi.radio. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi, listener-supported nerd stuff. And if you go to sci-fi.radio, you can listen to the station, and you can also look at all the cool news stories that we've got up there, written by humans, for humans, sometimes about AI, but not written by by AI. We have some interesting stories up there. Getting water from space in the Bennu asteroid rock that we brought back to Earth. They're checking that out. There's a crossover between Fortnite and Star Trek that's going to go on, sort of unofficial thing. Star Trek Prodigy got saved by Netflix. Unity kicked their CEO out. All sorts of really interesting stuff going on over there, as well as a memorial for Shawna Trpcic, who we're going to talk about a little later on, things like that. So go check that out. The station is supported by nerds like you, so there's a Patreon and a Coffee and a PayPal and stuff. If you're feeling generous, go for it. If you aren't over there, if you're watching us somewhere and you see our happy, smiling faces, you could be watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. All of those are valid, and if there's a way for you to like or subscribe or do whatever, hey, do that, won't you? We're grateful when you do. And I just checked my speed. We have a 562 megabit per second download and a 19.6 megabit per second upload.
Ooh.
That's awesome. We're kicking butt and taking names. So wherever the slowdown is, it's not us.
Yeah, by Craigie.
Just saying. Ashoka, were we going to talk about Ashoka?
Yep.
Do we need to reintroduce ourselves?
I mean, we didn't. I don't think we did at the beginning of the show either.
I thought we did too. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
Colleen's far, far away.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What did everybody think about the Ashoka
Finale?
finale?
And so if you guys want to come back in like 10 minutes, we'll be done talking about that.
Yeah, because it'll probably have spoilers here.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
there were no real surprises for me with the finale of Ashoka.
Yeah.
I saw it
Okay.
all coming. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, but like I know a lot of people who are like, "Oh my God, that was just such a shock," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Really?" Because if you know how Star Wars works,
Yeah.
it wasn't really much of a of a
Yeah,
shock.
I mean, I was really, I like what they did with Sabine and the Force and finally getting around to it. So, obviously to have that punch to it for that episode, I'm like, about darn time. But I like that they made it so that Ahsoka wasn't someone who was invincible, in this last two episodes, really, because like before she kind of seemed like that,
Yeah, I mean she's still obviously the chosen one for Filoni, and nothing serious is really going to happen to her.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see Anakin get integrated more into the story. It looks like we'll certainly get more of him. Did Sabine see him? Not Sabine.
Ahsoka?
Not Ahsoka. Shoot.
What do you mean?
Ahsoka's Padawan. Who's that? From Rebels.
Ahsoka?
Mandalorian girl.
You mean Sabine, right?
Sabine.
Did we just say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
said Sabine and then you said not Sabine.
Sorry,
so we were all very confused.
My brain's melting.
Okay.
And it's weird.
I don't know if Sabine saw that.
Did she see Anakin's ghost or not?
I don't.
Because we saw her use the Force.
Yeah.
When she needed to, it just happened to
Yeah.
pop up. But
I think the idea was
Yeah,
that she
at
sensed
the
something,
end.
but I thought it was Ahsoka that saw it. But I could be
okay,
wrong.
well maybe she just sort of
I'll
felt
have to go
that
back and
he
watch
was,
it again.
She felt that he was there, but Ahsoka actually saw it.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
she
like
seemed
what-
to somehow acknowledge
Yeah.
that Anakin was there.
Yeah, like Phil brought up, and yeah. And
So
John.
so one of the things is that the more they're showing of Anakin's Force ghost, the more I really need him to show up in Star Wars Episode 7 and tell Kylo that he went good
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the
no.
end, just like
Yeah, it is weird that he
end-
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I
end
know. Jeez.
all the stuff that happened in Episode 7 by saying, "Oh, by the way, I went good," and stop being bad in my name.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind
Yeah,
of
I was like, where did he go? Because Yoda's still around apparently.
Right.
So I'm like, what the heck?
And I did like the combat. Combat was really great.
Yeah.
It's a suitable cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
There's little niggly bits that I could complain about, like how did Ezra get out of the ship without being discovered? How did he make it over to them? How did he not get out of his stormtrooper armor because it's the most uncomfortable crap in the world? And how did he sit in a chair and fly in it because you can't?
You know,
There's like a whole bunch of little things. I
Yeah.
understand it was dramatic for him to walk out and go, "Oh my God, evil stormtrooper!"
well, I mean, he's worn armor before, the cartoons. So
Yeah, but
maybe,
not that
you
much
know,
armor.
So maybe it's something. But
But anyway, there's little niggling bits. I think
I liked the only version we'll get of the undead stormtroopers.
right, the Death Troopers. Well. So that said, I mean, one of the big mysteries left in the episode is what are all the coffins that they were loading on board the Star Destroyer?
Probably, I think it's just like either the crew that died while they were there, or
Right. So are they
or-
all the Imperials who died,
Yeah.
and they're all going to be raised as a big zombie army? Are
Yeah.
they all like Dathomiri witches?
Yeah,
that
that's
are
the
going to
part-
be,
yeah, I don't know.
They're going to try to take over the galaxy
Yeah.
with these witches everywhere, and they're like going to be a big Sith army force. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that isn't answered yet that we can speculate on. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And of course, we lost Balin,
Yeah.
who
The actor,
like
anyway.
the actor passed away, so they're either going to have to recast him
Yeah.
or kill him off. But yeah, it was also really interesting to see at the very end the giant statues of the three, the father and the son and
Yeah.
the daughter.
And I was like, hey, it's Lord of the Rings, but no.
yes, yeah. Well, and I got to tell you though, there was so much of this. What?
I think that the episode name was like, if you hadn't figured it out by now.
Well, but the
This-
episode name didn't even reference the Lord of the Rings. It referenced the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe,
Yeah.
I
which was
think that
other
it-
fantasy.
Yeah.
Right, but the thing is that they're not saying we are the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and they're not saying we are Lord of the Rings. They're
No.
saying
Right.
we are high fantasy.
We
Yeah, yeah.
did. We went high fantasy. We went serious anime. There was like all of this stuff.
Right, but I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like the name of the episode was a clue to anyone who hadn't figured out that they were doing high fantasy yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was full on samurai movie. So many of the combat scenes were pulled like right out of samurai
Oh
films.
yeah. Yeah.
It was a little bit of everything. It was basically everything Dave Filoni likes in one big episode. But yeah, the title,
Yeah.
if you didn't figure it out, was The Jedi, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Or the Warlord, rather. Sorry, as opposed to the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting enough to keep me coming back. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
But for me, there weren't any surprises. There wasn't anything I looked at and went, "Oh crap, that's cool." It was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It
I-
was
Yeah.
very pretty, but didn't have a lot of suspense for me.
So my question is that in the Legends, like Legends Con that we went to, there's a whole race of creature aliens that come in from another galaxy into Star Wars galaxy, they're called the Izon Vong, and there's this big war. So since they were able to go to another galaxy, because that's apparently where everyone came from was another galaxy. I wonder if they're ever going to bring in these on Vong, since
Well,
there's a galaxy traveling.
Everybody wants them to show up because wasn't that another Timothy Zahn thing?
Probably. I would like to say yes, but I'm not
So
really sure.
they're like really big, sort of undead looking guys anyway. But the problem is like all of those caskets they were putting in there, they weren't big enough to contain the Yuzun Vong. Is that how you say it? Because it's spelled like Yuzun.
Yeah, I know. I
It's-
could swear they pronounced it Izon.
I don't-
Izong Vong. Or
I don't
something
even
like
know.
that.
I'd
And
have
it's
to
just
look it up.
bizarre and and made up and
Yeah.
could be anything.
But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that they could do now
Oh,
that
yeah.
they've opened it up to another galaxy.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out where they first showed up, and I guess it's not a Timothy Zahn thing. Crimson Empire, maybe.
I don't know. I thought it might have been a comic
Knights of
or
the Old
something.
Republic,
Yeah.
Rogue Planet.
Yeah, I thought it was in a comic. But maybe
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
if there was in a comic, it would have been in the Crimson Empire. I
Yeah,
think was a
but-
comic series.
could have been a book, but
So-
I don't remember.
Mm.
I mean, you had Ryan here; he'd probably answer right off the bat. but,
I'm
you know.
sure. Because, I mean, I sort of remember them, but,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have a lot of experience with
Yeah.
them. So. They first appeared in Delroy's book series, The New Jedi Order.
Okay,
That's where they first showed up.
gotcha.
So. The name was developed at a French Thai restaurant.
Ah. Okay.
I didn't hate Ahsoka, but I didn't love it either.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Okay.
I kind of came out of it feeling like I did with the Book of Boba Fett, where it was like sort of entertaining, but it didn't move things for me, and which is really
Yeah.
in contrast to a whole bunch of other people who were like, "Oh my God, my life view has changed from seeing this series,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was weird. I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either. And maybe it's because, you know, we weren't kids when we watched Clone Wars or something. Maybe we're just not that invested in Ahsoka the
Well-
way some other people are.
I love the series because you know, I brought that up before. You know,
Which series?
the Ahsoka series because it's the only. It's a weird situation. It's like let's as an example. Sean went to see Rogue One, and he felt like, oh my gosh, he felt like Star Wars. It was Star Wars, and it's invigorated in yourself. Star Wars, this is yes, kind of thing, right?
Rogue One
Uh-huh.
had a very visceral reaction for me.
Yeah. So
so it like choked me up, and it
Yeah.
was because
And
it really was Star Wars to me.
yeah, and that's similar to that is how it was Ahsoka for me.
Interesting.
So yeah.
It reminded you of when you first saw Star Wars, or a different,
Well, more like the
Episode 4, or
more like Return of the Jedi, I guess, because when I was about 5, I saw Star Wars, and I didn't see anything more Star Wars really until later. Like, I think I saw Empire after I saw Jedi, because I wasn't really, as a kid, I was like, ooh, cool, Star Wars. And then Star Wars is done, I'm like, oh, cool, look, Legos, or whatever, you know. You just, it's just, I don't really have something to I didn't really hold on to these things all that much. You know, probably, you know, like Spider-Man or something. I'm not really sure what the new thing was in my mind. But when Jedi came out, I was older, I guess, and I was able to, you know, it affected me more.
I didn't. It didn't feel like any of the first 3 movies to me, but it did definitely feel like season 5 or whatever of
Rebels.
And
But
I
see,
really liked Rebels.
I don't
Yeah.
even feel
So-
like I liked Ahsoka as much as I liked Rebels. Like, I really liked Rebels. And this, going
Yeah.
back there with Rebels, with Ahsoka, wasn't enough for me, really. And like, I know so many people who got so excited over so many things. Like, when we got to see young Ahsoka doing the Clone Wars and young Anakin and all these things, that people
Yeah.
are like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And I'm like, it's interesting, it's informative, but I'm not like, it didn't, you know, hit the
So-
feels for me.
Dawn points out that non-Star Wars fans didn't know any of the backstory, so they were confused about Ahsoka.
Right.
And honestly, I'm going to have to say that I've watched Rebels. I don't think I've watched the entire series twice, but I've watched the series at least once, and several of the episodes I've watched twice.
Yeah.
Right.
And I haven't watched all of Clone Wars, but I've watched selected episodes of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I was confused by Ahsoka. Like, I couldn't remember what it was that happened at the end of Rebels.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I remember there were wolves, and I remember, like, Ahsoka going into a cave and, like, fighting Darth Vader or something. But I felt confused and wanted to go
Okay.
back and watch Rebels again so that I could figure out what was going on.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which we got to the middle of before the series started,
Gotcha.
and we didn't get it finished. But yeah, I don't know. Bits of it were fun, but in no way did it remind me of the original trilogy at all.
Oh.
There was like nothing in it that made me feel that way.
Yeah,
And especially in the way that like Rogue One did, where Rogue One just like completely dovetailed with the original trilogy so well.
I'd be willing to watch it again to see if I get that feeling, but I think I would really want to watch all of Rebels first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we should
So
finish that and then watch it again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the thing about Rogue One and the point that you make is actually a pretty strong point for like Ahsoka, which is like Ahsoka has a whole bunch of characters I'm already invested in. Like I like Sabine and I like Ezra
Yeah.
and I like Hera and Ahsoka's okay, although I don't look at her as like
Yeah.
a big major part of Rebels.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
and so even though I was already invested in all of those people, I didn't come out of it going, "Oh wow, how great to see all these people again," and whatever. And Rogue One, there was like nobody in that from the original Star Wars movies. Yet I came out of that going, "Holy crap, that was it. That was Star Wars." So I mean, I'm really happy for the people who were able to do that and connect with it in that way. I wish I was one of them.
Yeah. And
I'm just kind of not, and I'm not sure why.
yeah, it's not really a matter of that I was in that I thought that it was like this is just like Return of the Jedi. It was actually more of a feeling, as it were.
Right, it gave you a
like,
vibe.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
which
because
I wish I had got.
yeah,
I didn't get.
I'm like I'm like this cool Star Wars, and then I'm like watch this and the same little kid vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say this about the entire Star Wars universe at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not as big of a fan as you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I'm the bigger fan than the average Joe on the street, though.
Gotcha.
And I have been with every new series that they come out with. It's like I get more and more confused about where the heck we are in the Star Wars timeline.
That's because
It's-
the timeline
I'm
jumps
constantly
around
like-
a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's because the timeline jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like I spent half of Ahsoka going, wait, where are we in time?
When are we? Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I just couldn't remember.
yeah, Ahsoka's pretty much the same time period as the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and such. And Andor is way back. And,
Well,
so like,
We know that it's like 5 years after the Battle of Yavin, and we know it's 9 years after Rebels takes place because
Yeah.
of the age of Hera's son.
yeah.
And that's what I had to keep reminding me. I was like, how old is that kid now? Where are we? And
Yeah.
and I'm with you. We totally had to do that because it wasn't really evident exactly where we were. And I think that confusion kind of like you have to think too hard about it.
I suppose.
The TH Lady A1066
Yeah.
in our comments
First time.
says that it's fabulous to see Claudia Black in Ahsoka, and I went, what the heck? Just looked it up, and Claudia Black played one of the Great Mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, because she was under all of that makeup.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, she was so buried under all of the Dathomiri witch stuff that it was really hard to check. And the
Yeah.
other witches, I didn't even recognize. I don't know them
No.
from anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting to see her. Where do you know her from, Colleen?
Claudia Black?
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
horror films, right?
oh, from what?
So wasn't she in like a bunch of horror films?
Well, because she was like in
Ah.
Farscape, which you didn't watch.
I thought I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, that's
I have
right.
to look because
Not horror films.
I
You're
thought
right.
I
Yeah.
knew her.
I know who.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
She did Uncharted. So I don't know
Yeah.
if you worked with her because she did Uncharted.
Oh, Pitch Black. Huh? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's done a bunch.
And
of
she's
stuff.
got a lot of credits under her name. I was just curious if she maybe did a historical drama
Yeah,
that you knew her
but
from
yeah,
or something like
I
that.
don't know. I'm looking at her credits right now to
Uh-huh.
see what what I know her from.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just
But good golly, yeah.
because
If-
Colleen has a tendency to know people from different places than I do,
And
and I'm always
yeah,
curious where.
I see her here, obviously, seeing her face now, remembering
Yeah.
who she is, and I watched and on Ahsoka. How could you tell?
Right. Well, yeah, because I mean she's white and black and weird.
Makeup
and
everywhere, and,
red
yeah.
robes and deep in the hood, and
It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
she was in the Dresden Files, which we watched,
yeah.
but she only did an episode.
Uh,
But Colleen very frequently knows people.
Yeah, she's been on video games that I've worked on.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of video games.
I think I might have been confusing her for someone else.
Oh, okay.
Because
Anyway, I didn't mean
don't-
to put you on the spot.
No, it's cool. I just now I'm very confused about where I know her from.
Wow,
There's a show called
That's
A
pretty
Country Practice, which seems like your kind of speed. Very sort of Waltonsy kind of show that
No, I
that
haven't.
they did.
I haven't seen
But
that.
I think it was Australian.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Sorry, I
I
said, I
have
didn't
not
mean to
seen
put you on the
Farscape,
spot.
so
I
I
was
don't
just
know.
curious where you knew her from.
No, that's cool.
You probably
I was
worked with
confusing
her.
her for somewhere else.
probably in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
don't
guess.
know.
So.
Anyway, where were we? Did we wrap this?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think if
yeah.
so Jeff really very much liked it.
Yes.
I had fun, but like never really invested in it. Maybe season 2 will be better for me. Where did you leave it, Colleen?
I mean, I'm glad I watched it, but and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I
Right.
was somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
It's not like I was at this point. It's not like I would go, oh my gosh, everyone should totally go see this, and I hope they love it as much as I did. I was just kind of meh. So, which is kind of a bummer.
What we'll probably do is finish up Rebels, because we're in the middle of Rebels, for a rewatch, and then we will probably revisit Ahsoka after that
Gotcha.
as a direct
We have to
lead-in.
rewatch all of Loki first so that we can watch
I
Loki.
know,
Yeah.
we got Loki to...
Well, only one.
Season
I think
two.
there's only one episode so far, unless another one loaded today or something.
No, but-
Well, an
Loki.
entire season to
Oh,
rewatch
the first season. Yeah.
Yeah.
so that you can see.
Yeah.
Although it's like,
Um,
what, 6 episodes?
Yeah.
So it's not
All I
terrible.
can-
Don
say is-
says Clone Wars season 3 episodes 15 through 17.
Explains a lot. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so when we got tired of just watching every single Clone Wars, because some of them were kind of dumb, we did a targeted rewatch that was basically like all of the important story arcs. And so we've seen
And
that.
honestly, it was hard to watch that even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I like
Not
a lot of the
Clone Wars fan.
characters in
Yeah.
Clone Wars, it was
I think
I
it
feel
would
like I
be
was
really,
too old for it.
I think it would be really interesting to take all of the Star Wars properties, let's say just the TV shows and the movies, and rank them.
Okay.
So, I mean, not something that you can do right now. You'd have to sit down. With
Yeah. Yeah. I
something.
bet, yeah.
But that would be interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Should we move on to theme parks?
Yeah, let's.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
potential new parking structure on the Disney Forward plan.
Mm-hmm.
They put out or published an 8-page report that they sent to the city of Anaheim.
Yeah.
And if you remember
and-
last week, we talked about how they were taking one of their big parking lots, which was the Toy Story lot, and they were turning it into more rides and shopping.
Yes.
So this new parking lot is directly across from the bus entrance, which is the old main entrance. It lines up with
Yeah.
the plaza, and if you keep walking, you'll get to downtown Disney,
Yeah.
across Harbor Boulevard.
It's like next to.
I have a map.
Garden
here.
Walk.
That map is awful, though.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That-
it's really,
It's
really
too small to actually read most of the text on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a terrible map.
It's like behind
Yeah.
It's behind Garden Walk.
but
And
if-
kind you know, Melody Land, where that it's kind of around that area.
so if you take a look,
Yeah.
the top little blop is Disneyland. The bottom one is DCA. There's Downtown Disney on the left in between the two of them, and then directly across on the right there's a sort of pipe-looking thing
Yeah.
that I was gonna say it looked like
It's like a reverse Oklahoma.
that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. Man, I'm just garbage tonight. I couldn't remember Oklahoma. And I'm like,
okay.
it's a backwards Oklahoma.
So it's okay.
It's
I was
got a
trying
little
couldn't figure it out. I'm
panhandle.
like,
Right.
yeah.
It's an oil can.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where they're going to do it. And so Garden Walk is this on again, off again shopping area that like doesn't seem to be able to keep people in there.
Yeah.
I think the House of Blues moved over there. I think there's like a bowling alley there. Or there was.
Oh, I
They
think it
had
moved into the theater, didn't
They
it?
had the bowling alley became a theater. It's really complex.
Yeah.
And then if you look below at the bottom of the map, and let us get our little faces out of the way here. So if you look at this map, the very colorful area in the bottom right-hand corner, that's
Yeah.
the current Toy Story lot.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to become more attractions and shopping.
Yeah.
Which I assume.
But also, if you look at the main part of the map where you've got the blue outlines of Disneyland and DCA, if you look to the left of those, there's another colorful area, and that is also new rides and attractions
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a potential new gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, obviously, all of these things are going to need to be connected with the Matterhorn, because I mean, it's not like
No, monorail.
Thank you, the monorail.
That would be awesome,
I'm
though.
just done for the
I
night.
think it would be awesome too.
It's an M word. I was close.
Just have like a freaking Yeti at
Oh
every stop.
Anyway, they're going to have to turn the monorail into a real mode of transportation to get you there, because you can't leave
Yeah, yeah. This is true.
Disneyland or DCA and get to these new parks.
Yeah.
Maybe you could like walk across the road or something if they put some airwalks or something in, but whatever it is, it's going to be really complicated.
Yeah.
But this thing sort of leads us to another thing to talk about, which is Disney's raising their
ticket
freaking prices again, and this is just
Slimy dogs.
brutal. So I just re-upped my pass, and I've got the upend pass because parking is $30. That's going to $35. Multi-day tickets are going up by as much as 25%.
Good gravy.
And Magic Key annual passes are going to go up as much as $150, depending on what level you have. It looks like the pass I have is going up by $50, but being the top-end, most expensive pass, we had already been discussing that I'm probably not going to get it next year.
Yeah.
Because it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm regretting that I got one this year because, I could have just bought a couple of single day passes instead. And
Yeah.
Mela is asking if it will be like going from Tokyo Disney to Disney Sea. We don't know yet. And Eric Gertz points out that Disneyland Forward is all about that parking lot. If they don't build that, they can't build anything else. It's all about the zoning law.
Right,
I
right.
feel like Disney Springs with rides.
Yeah, I don't remember taking the monorail from one park to another over in Tokyo.
Yeah.
We didn't do
Oh,
that.
no.
Sean Mela did though,
Right.
because she went to both parks. Yes, it is. I'm on the air. Yeah. Everybody say hi to my Aunt Pat.
Hi, Aunt Pat.
Hello.
They all said hi to you.
So yeah,
Well, I
there she
just
is.
woke up. I don't see me. Where am I?
Wait. It's a delay.
Oh,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. Hi.
Oh, see?
So,
Awesome.
So,
yeah, we didn't take the monorail over, which was like an extra fee, I think, to do.
Yeah, well,
Because
Mela
they do
did. Mela
use
and
it for
Bruce did.
transportation. I imagine that will be the case.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot like Orlando, where you have to get on the Hogwarts train to get over to Islands of Adventure and do both of those parks. You get on the train, it takes you there. You get off. You're in the other part of Harry Potter land.
Probably build a TTA.
So I'm sure that's pretty much what it's going to be.
It's interesting that Eric is saying that it's all about that parking lot.
Well, because if they don't have enough places to park, they can't expand for more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the how much they've already used of what's already been allowed them, the only thing that they've used almost all of is the parking.
Yeah.
Everything else, like the parking, they've used only like maybe 200 spots they haven't used yet, and yet the hotel space, they have way more space still. The everything else has way more space except the parking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
another giant structure.
It's an interesting thing, but man, the way they're raising prices right now, so many people are so pissed.
Yeah.
We have a friend, Judy, that had just did 3 days in prep to get her annual pass. And they've been telling you at Disneyland, well, if you buy a 3-day ticket, you can apply it to the cost of your annual pass, which is terrific. And like Universal does that. I think Knott's Berry Farm does that, where if you have a day ticket, you can upgrade, and they take that, they apply that to what you're already paying. Ooh. But the problem is Disney's not offering magic keys, and so she basically had to abandon this $300 that she'd been told she could use to get her annual pass.
Exactly.
And
they have it in the fine print somewhere.
Yeah.
That it's only if the magic keys are being offered can you get
available. One. Yeah. And then
and
so she decided she's probably going to get one, and now they're raising the prices on it.
Yeah.
Which is just it's exhausting. And great. Okay, they want to expand and do all of this kind of garbage, but at what point are they just like asking for too much money?
Yeah. Because I mean, it's not going to. It's like,
and something interesting
is the elitist priced.
In the ticket increase, they're like, well, for Disney World, we're giving them all these benefits, like we're not raising the price on certain types of tickets, and we're giving them park hoppers back because they don't have park hoppers apparently right now.
Well, no, I think their park hoppers were only at a certain time of day. Now you can park hop any time of day. They're taking that restriction off. And
then go ahead. Sorry.
And they have legitimate annual passes, not this magic key stuff.
Yeah.
And then for Disneyland, they say, "Oh, your benefit is that we're going to put new rides in."
Right. And it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hotel valet parking is $70. These are the new prices. For a car at the hotel, it's $40. The price goes up to $35 for a regular car, and $55 for preferred in parking.
Yeah.
And the key. So for my key, it's going up to $1,650. It's going up by $50. But if you have the middle of the road key, it's going up by $150. The two middle ones, Enchant and Believe, are going up by $150. And then the cheap one, the $500 one, is a $50 increase.
Yay.
It's just...
Yeah.
I love this stuff, and I really love going to Disneyland. I know so much about it. I have a great time, like, interacting with the people there. They're going to have to hire me if I'm going to keep going, because it's just too much money.
If they ever offer the keys again, because how long's that been?
Well, they had them open a couple months ago, but briefly.
Yeah, real brief.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So, and they haven't.
Well, but if people take this price hike, and like if this becomes too much for people, which I honestly think that's going to be Sean and I think we're being priced out of going to Disneyland anymore.
Already did.
There will be more Magic Keys offered because the people who can't afford them are going to start dropping them.
Yeah.
Over this year.
Well, and basically it's just making it more and more exclusive experience for people with money.
Yeah.
But you know, and they don't know. They don't keep track of the people who come in on annual passes and what they spend, because I know so many people who go in there who are like the super hardcore Disney. They're buying so much stuff.
Yeah.
And we buy stuff for other people who can't get into the parks.
Yep.
And bring it out. And like, I spend a lot of other people's money at the park. Mm-hmm. They reimburse me for all the stuff that they can't get because they can't get in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I spend on behalf of me and other people, but mostly other people, thousands of dollars a year. But they don't count that. They're like,
No.
oh, you know, the annual pass people, Magic Key people don't spend enough money in the park. It's like, well, that's not true.
No.
You know, and then there's secondary market people where all the people come in who do have annual passes and just buy all of this stuff and sell it on eBay. Maybe that's the way I'm going to get a pass next year. I'm just going to buy all this crap and start selling it for inflated prices on eBay.
Right.
So
There you
maybe
go.
Disney's
Yes,
going to
because-
turn me into a mercenary.
Right, because we have room to store that stuff.
Well, I don't care. You know, we'll turn it over fast. It'll be
I
fun.
know you don't care, but I do.
But yeah, I'm going to be a Mickey mercenary. I'm going to change my name from Obi-Shawn to Mickey
Oh, my
Mercenary
goodness.
and start selling stuff on eBay.
Terrible. We got a first look at the new mural in Tiana's Bayou Adventure, both in California and Florida, apparently.
Yay.
Let's see if I can get this puppy up here.
Are you going to post that so I don't have to look at it?
Yeah, the
I mean, I don't have to go get it.
yeah,
Huh.
the Disney
That's interesting.
what's interesting.
The style of artwork.
Huh. Well, I mean, it's pretty rough. Honestly, it looks like the murals on the preschools that Disney keeps making schools take down.
Well, now you know what they did with them.
Right.
They took them
'Cause
down
it's-
and they put
Because
them
they're
here.
not like on model enough. Unless this is supposed to be painted by a particular character, and it's got to look a certain way.
It might be replicating a certain style that we just don't know
It's not
about.
very impressive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a? Unless it's just like a concept sketch or something.
Right.
But
I don't know.
Let's see. Apparently, they say it's very authentic to.
It
New-
doesn't
New
look like a
Orleans.
concept sketch because you can see it in the background of one of the photos above.
Oh, okay. So
Malika
yeah.
favorite. Okay, so if it's a particular New Orleans artist,
Yeah,
gets-
see, I
it
told you
gets-
it's an artist that we're just not familiar
it gets
with.
a
Yeah.
pass. Yeah.
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 All right.
New-
So.
yeah.
And you can see it in the background
Okay.
on the buildings.
Taking
you can see that style
inspiration
of
from
painting.
numerous murals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. As if they went to New Orleans and they grabbed a local artist and they brought her here to do her thing, that's fine.
Yeah.
If
Oh, that's cool. They actually brought the artist,
Yeah,
not
that's what it says. Yeah.
replicating it.
yeah, so she came
Cool.
and did it. So I'm down with that. That's
Nice.
fine. Because if it was just Disney trying to be cute, yeah, it's not really up to Disney. But if it's a particular artist and this is celebrating her and her style and her contribution to New Orleans and bringing that here, I'm down. That's good. Interesting.
Okay, so and the last item that we had to talk about in theme parks is that all-day park hopping is coming back to Disney World in January, and we chatted about that.
Yeah,
already.
we
Yeah.
kind of touched on that. So you can go to any theme park any time of day, and currently park hopper access has been after 2 p.m. each day. So now you could just go whenever you want to. That's back to normal.
Is ours
Ours
1
is-
p.m. or is it 11 a.m.?
It's 11 a.m. It was 1,
Yeah.
and then it went to 11, but it's still at 11, I think.
Gotcha.
So
11's not bad.
it's not terrible, and especially for me who gets there after 11.
Yeah.
So that's apparently coming January 9th. All-day park hopper during standard park hours. And
Cool.
theme park reservations no longer required for date-based tickets, which are the standard ticket option.
Yeah.
And dining plans will come back for the Disney Resort Hotel guests with their packages.
Sweet.
So that's the thing that's been about Florida. They've been getting all the perks and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
Disneyland's still suffering over here. And
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying as crap.
Right.
So
It's really expensive though.
Okay.
Trailer time, I
Kit
think.
wants us to go to speed round right now
well, we could. We have 20 minutes.
because we have 20 minutes left.
Yeah. 6 trailers and speed round and rip.
Yeah, I
boy.
didn't really look at the trailers tonight. So if we want to save them till next week,
There
I'm okay with that.
wasn't anything fabulous.
Okay.
Um,
So I don't, like I said, I didn't see it, so I'll
Okay.
leave it to you
Anyway.
guys. I will, I guess,
So-
talk about the people we lost this week.
yeah.
We lost Rudy Isley at the age of 84. He was a founding member of the Isley Brothers, basically known for doing things like Twist and Shout and that kind of stuff. And so, the Grammy winner and Hall of Famer and all of that kind of stuff. So you've heard the Isley Brothers with Shout and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're an Animal House fan. I play it on my show all the time. And you know, that's the song where you get a little bit louder, you get a little quieter, you get louder. It's very fun. We lost Phyllis Coates at the age of 96. She was the very first Lois Lane on TV. She has made a whole bunch of appearances in various Superman things. They put her on trains and things like that, and the background is little nice nods of her having been Lois Lane. She was on The Adventures of Superman, but left after one season.
Yeah.
Noel Neill filled in for her, as I recall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why.
She was also in I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, and a bunch of stuff like that. She passed away at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills. We've done some charity events there. Really great. And she was in Superman and the Mole Men, which was a George Reeves movie for Superman. It had all sorts of stuff. But we will remember her as Lois Lane. It was pretty great. And then the biggie this week, we lost Shawna Trpcic. She was a costume designer in most of the recent Disney Star Wars offerings. She did Season 2 onward of The Mandalorian. She did Ahsoka. And she also worked on Cabin in the Woods. She did the SpongeBob movie. She did Firefly, which was amazing. She did Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, all sorts of great stuff. She was our age, the people here on the show. We went to the same school, she and I did, in elementary school. We didn't meet, we didn't know each other, but every once in a while she would bring up her school and go, yeah, Pinecrest alum. And I'm like, me too. And then we sort of bonded over that, which was really fun. The neatest thing about Shawna was that she was so excited by the fan community of Star Wars, and she liked her Firefly fans and stuff. They were great, and she'd help them out with costumes and stuff. But for Star Wars, there's so many more of them for something that's been going on so much longer. She basically has been joyously helping anyone who needed help with their costume. You could send her a note and go, what fabric? What did you do to get this effect? Where did you find these fittings? How did you sew this seam? I don't understand how this works. And she would sit there and send pictures of the real costumes to people and go, this is what I did. This is the inside of that. This is how that goes together. This is the fabric I got. I got it at this store. She's been absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad because Colleen and I, she was a guest at Colleen's costume college as special guest when Colleen was the dean. And she got the terrible, really sad, depressing news that she was not going to get to do superhero costumes for the Avengers. She went to a party with Joss Whedon in the middle of our con and came back sad because Joss couldn't make that happen for her. And so she moped around for a while, but then she got hooked into Star Wars, and like the fan base is so exciting and everybody loved her so much that I'm so glad she got to experience all of that before she passed away, and to be the person that she is with everybody, and everybody got to know her that way. We don't know what she passed away from. She was only 56. We don't know if she was previously sick and she didn't say anything. We don't know if she died hiking in the desert, which was the last thing we heard about her doing when she went off. She's been doing a lot of vacation-y kind of stuff with things shut down for various strikes, and she's been traveling a lot and having kind of fun, but we also don't know if that was like a, victory tour, last lap kind of thing either. We're still waiting on news. We'll tell you when we find out, of course. But she's just done so much stuff, Book of Boba Fett and all of this great stuff. If you like Disney, Star Wars TV, you love what she's done. And if you like the Whedonverse, you love what she's done. So, yeah, it was really, really pretty terrible news. And, it's...
And very shocking.
Yeah, because, we hear about people passing all the time. There are people that we report on the show all the time. Shawna was one of us, and Shawna was someone we knew. And Shawna was someone that was easily accessible by the world. She just opened herself up to everybody. It was just incredible. She was an Emmy nominee, and we would see her at Comic-Con, and it would be a joy just to run into her and all of that kind of stuff. So really, really sad news. She went to Otis College down the street here, and totally we've been bummed out since we got the news. So sad to pass that on.
Yeah. Jeff, you want to
speed round?
Okay. For a 60, is it the? I'm sorry. Here, what did it say? It's an anniversary of sorts for Avengers and Marvel Comics, and there's a sweepstakes. And basically, what this is that you enter the sweepstakes, and you get to be the star of a special, Avengers comic, and you'll be on the
cool.
They'll be on the cover with Iron Man, the Hulk, and Captain America, and whatever else. It's like a limited run comic. And it is on, to enter it, you have to go to the Whatnot app. And it says go to the Marketplace tab, clicking drops and opening the Marvel X Whatnot drop card. And you got to get it in there before the 15th, or by the 15th, 6 p.m. Eastern time of this month. And maybe you could win. You can be on the cover and such.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Fun. I want to give a little correction of sorts. When I saw the person put over in our chat that Claudia Black was in Ashoka,
who did you think she was?
I pictured Claudia Christian.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's
Got
and
it.
so I've been sitting here going, I know it was someone that I know, and then
she was
I had
in
to
the
think
other
for a while
science
about,
fiction show.
Right. Yeah, so that was me.
Claudia
Sean,
Christian, though, to be fair, would have made an awesome Dathomiri witch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Having been chewed out by her 4 inches from my face for a video that we did, she'd have kicked ass at that.
Yeah.
And can I clarify that Sean and Claudia Christian were doing a video?
Yes.
It's not that Claudia Christian was mad at Sean for a video
She wasn't
he did.
mad. We were both playing parts.
Yes.
I was steampunk. She was playing drunk, and she has this great rant thank goodness I saved, because that video's gone missing.
Oh, what the heck?
But I've got the audio
Wow.
of it, and that's enough. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Sean, what do you want to talk about?
A couple things here. First off, the SAG strike is still ongoing because talks have broken down with producers. They have left the negotiating table. They don't seem to care. It's going to be kind of interesting to see because Hollywood doesn't have to be in Hollywood anymore. But if you work in the United States, you have to work with the union. So, I mean, unless they start doing stuff overseas and stuff, which is entirely possible. You can put Hollywood anywhere you want. So we'll have to see what's going on with that. Part of this involves Marvel's reboot of the Fantastic Four, which we've done, 4 times now? We've had 4 Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
They're not going to announce anything until the actor strike is over. They have 4 actors selected, apparently. And then once they can actually promote them, when the strike is over, they will let everybody know who that is. So we're all kind of waiting on bated breath because we haven't seen a Fantastic Four movie from the guys who have been doing Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Marvel. Now that they've got that back because they bought 20th Century Fox, it could be great, right? They could finally do it right. Maybe. Or it could suck again. Maybe Fantastic Four is just unfilmable.
I don't know.
Although I sort of like the Roger Corman version.
Yeah.
It was cheesy and all of that.
It was cheesy and lame, but it had the best story out of all of them.
And
so.
the music was good.
Yeah.
And the actors didn't suck.
Yeah.
And the thing looked great.
Yeah.
So
Looked amazing.
yeah, maybe they should just release that in the interim.
Yeah. Just redo the effects and sound, it'd be fine.
Yeah, right. Do a good print of it, because I think Roger Corman made it only to hang on to his rights for it, so that he could then sell them to like Fox and make a bunch of money.
Yeah, like Avi Arad bought it, and then he made
So.
Well,
blah.
All
Jeff?
right.
Jeff?
Okay. Well, okay, so I think this is funny, and I'm not buying them, but
Oh no.
so there.
I know where he's going, and
Yes,
I need
you
to get
do.
a picture.
Yes,
Oh,
there are now cowboy boot Crocs.
and they're
Well,
ugly.
We have long
Oh.
seen.
Got to get these for Matt.
We have long seen crocodile boots that were cowboy boots made out of crocodiles.
Yes, and it kind of fits, doesn't it?
This would be so much better if they didn't have a giant ad covering half of the screen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was too darn funny.
Is there no picture? Is it just
I mean, it
video?
is showing up as you scroll. It's popping up
guess
to the right.
It's because it's a video.
Yeah.
apparently, which
And there you
is-
go up top there, showing it in
which
a
is
short video.
Sort of lame.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because
It's awful.
everybody wants rubber cowboy boots.
I think it's I mean.
Did you guys notice that it had spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah. It did.
So
oh
awesome.
my gosh.
No, just no. Just no.
I see a birthday present for Matt. That's what I see.
right.
Um,
Oh boy.
Baz Luhrmann made the movie Australia that was apparently not a hit.
No, it
I
was the
enjoyed
big
it,
epic
but-
sweeping thing that
Yeah.
had Hugh Jackman
But
in it.
apparently he used over 2 million feet of film when he shot it.
Yikes.
And so now they're going to make the whole thing into a miniseries.
Maybe it'll be better.
That's the
I
hope.
had fun with it too, but I'm not Australian, so maybe the problem was like the Australians didn't like Australia.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is that they showed the amount of time it takes to cross that desert in Australia.
Right.
And that's never a good idea.
You had the same problem that you had with Lawrence of Arabia, which was
Right.
get the hell out of the frickin'
How
desert.
long must I wander in this desert?
Right. You
Right.
spent too much time.
Sean?
That's really funny. So, 11 years ago, according to my memories on Facebook today, the Space Shuttle Endeavour made its way through the streets of Los Angeles to the California Science Center. They took out trees, they took down road signs, wires, all sorts of stuff to make this trip possible. And it's been sitting in the California Science Center on display in the Carl Ocean Space Pavilion for many, many years. We've done Yuri's Night underneath it. We've done all sorts of parties and fun stuff. And you can go visit it up until December. And they're going to take it down. They're going to move it vertically and put it upright. And so today and yesterday and the day before, they have been moving the solid rocket boosters. They already took the extra fuel tank. That came right by our house, in fact.
Ooh.
Right up Lincoln Boulevard, and which was kind of cool. The shuttle came from Los Angeles International Airport, which was just south of us, and it stopped down the street from us by about a mile. And then these other boosters, which they don't have pictures of,
Came up.
they were coming from Lancaster, I think, and they came down. They came through the
Oh.
grapevine or something. It's something crazy.
I thought they were coming up the 110 freeway.
I know that they hit the 605 at one point.
Really? I was totally wrong
map
about where they were
of
traveling then.
Solid
Turning into the NASA version of the Californians.
boosters. Right. Well,
Right. The space version of Californians. That's funny.
so let's see. I got a diagram for the solid rocket boosters.
Yeah, apparently they've been in storage at the Mojave Air and Spaceport in Kern County.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they had a big party, I guess, at the California Science Center, which I didn't go to. But I thought for sure they'd have a map of where they were traveling from. This
This
might
yeah.
be it. Let's see here. But I'll make you guys sick. So these are the big giant casings for them. They don't have the engine parts in them. It's just the casings.
Gotcha.
And those were donated. And this is the map. This is the tour it took. So you can see it started kind of up by Edwards Air Force Base, and then it made its way all the way down the freeway over to the 210, and then it came down the 5, I guess, and it had this whole big giant travel thing going on. Man, I'm trying to zoom in, and won't let me zoom in. Let me zoom in.
Well, we need to wrap it up
Lame.
anyway.
Yeah, we're about that time.
Talonthorn notes that Jeff could use those Croc cowboy boots for his Woody costume.
Yeah, for you.
Right.
The
right.
cool comfortability.
Well, if they make them in brown, in
Yes.
that sort of
I-
toy-looking
yeah.
brown color,
I would totally buy them if they were brown from. Yeah.
that would be
Right. Yeah, and we need to wrap it up because we have 3 minutes left.
Yeah, no worries. What are we doing this weekend?
Let's see.
Sean's doing a wedding.
I'm doing a wedding on Monday and Tuesday.
I'm
at the
flying
Disneyland
home
Hotel.
on Saturday.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
Colleen will be back, which means I gotta clean the house.
I don't think I have stuff
Yeah.
to do on Saturday and Sunday. Friday is we're having this family vacation planning family thing chat Discord. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
We were
I'm going
originally
to-
planning to go do something with you guys, but I think we are diverting to New York for Colleen's mom.
I think you guys will be out
Yep.
of money.
Yeah, right. That's where our Disneyland pass money's going.
Oh dear.
Go to New York.
Well, it'll probably be a little more fun.
I am going to an online lecture about preserving family memories that talks about how to save family recipes that have been handed down through the generations.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Nice. I don't think I have any events that I'm planning on doing this weekend, but I've got so much Halloween stuff to set up. I really need to do it this weekend.
Yeah, I'm planning. I hope to finish it mine this weekend or something.
And
but,
Colleen and I had a weird thing happen where apparently our taxes last year didn't file.
What?
So we got to refile those before the deadline this year. They gave us an extension.
whoa.
Everybody, because of COVID in California, got an extension. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was really weird how that happened. I'm not really sure what happened. So that is mandatory. It's got to happen. So.
I'm probably going to hold back on those Crocs for a little while. They're $120.
Wow.
They're not even available yet.
Well, I got to tell you,
Man.
I was at an outlet store and I saw $300 Crocs.
Good.
And I don't know what made them $300.
I don't
They're
get
just,
it.
little plastic, floaty, foam, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't be that expensive to make.
Yeah.
I don't know what a
crazy.
regular pair of Crocs cost because I don't want to wear them.
exactly.
Looked into it. Hey, if you have been listening to us over on sci-fi.radio, thank you so much. It is
Yay.
sci-fi for your Wi-Fi, and they're there 24/7 if you want to check out really cool stuff. And we've got all sorts of news up there. There's a schedule of programming up there that you can check out that will magically change to your locality so that you know when these shows are. And when the replay of this show is. I'm also on the air Monday through Friday. I'll be back on the air tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time for Good Morning Tatooine to wrap up the week. So if you want to join me there, please do. We appreciate your company. Also, we're on Twitch and Facebook and Instagram. Say hey over there. And not Instagram. Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. There you go. And yeah, we always appreciate hearing from you guys, either in the chat or after the fact. That's cool too. Big thanks to Boba-Kit Sovine, who does all of our terrific show document stuff, and also is the meme goddess over on DB94 Facebook page. She's got all the funny stuff going up there all the time.
Gotcha.
So check that out and say thank you to her. And otherwise, we will see you next week.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Sola Donoho.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always, may the
May
Force be with you.
you.
See, now Colleen has to deal with that weird lag that happens with Zoom.
Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. Okay, radio people, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, David.
Bye-bye.
And to the people over here on the video side of things, how's about we get you some credits going on? I will see all of you guys next week, huh? We all will. Colleen will be here and everything. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.